Guys, if you are wondering why college football coaches are getting $100 million contracts, this is why. College football in the 21st century is crazy. Quinn Ewers completely played Ohio State, and Ryan Day is officially transferring. He was a number one overall recruit in 2022, reclassified to 2021 back in the summer. I said right as he was doing it, it was a terrible move for Ohio State football. He wanted the money, the name, image, likeness money. He got over $1 million in endorsement deals, coming to Ohio State a year early, and then he dips and says, I'm going back, probably going back to Texas, maybe Texas Tech or Texas A&M. Those are the three rumored schools. This is crazy, and really, Ryan Day got absolutely screwed in this situation, and there's nothing he can do about it. Okay, it's one thing if Quinn Ewers competes against C.J. Stroud this year. Ryan Day goes with the more experienced Stroud. Ewers transfers because of it, and then Ewers ends up better than Stroud. That's where we can blame Ryan Day. But this kid didn't even compete. He came in as a true freshman when he should have been a high school senior because he wanted the name, image, likeness money. It completely screwed Ohio State's quarterback room up because originally Ewers was in the 2022 class. Stroud, you start Stroud for 1 year, then Ewers would be coming in next year as a true freshman, backing up Stroud for just 1 year. Stroud goes to the NFL, then Ewers takes over for 2 years. Even in a perfect world, you would have back-to-back first-year starting quarterbacks because you would have Stroud starting for 2 years. Ewers would take over for 1 year, then immediately be eligible after that 1 year for the NFL because he moves to the 2021 class. He sits for the 2021 season, 2022 season, then he starts one season. Then you would have another new starting quarterback for the 2024 season because Ewers would be a one and done. If you're a college football quarterback, you want to avoid one and dones. You want to have that continuity. You don't want to have first-year starting quarterbacks. So Ewers moving from 2022 to 2021 was a terrible situation for Ryan Day, but it's not like Ryan Day could say no to him because if he said no to him, Ewers would just decommit and you lose the generational talent that is Quinn Ewers. This kid is rated a perfect 1,000 grade, the number one overall player, and the perfect 1,000 grade means you're rated number one by every recruiting system. He's the second quarterback, I think, in history to have that distinction, the first being Vince Young. So this kid certainly is good. It's just one of those transfer portal situations where this is why these college football coaches are getting paid so much money because it's so easy for these five-star kids to where if they're not playing, they're just going to leave. They don't have to sit out a year and wait. If Quinn Ewers was transferring and knows he has to sit out a year, why wouldn't you just stay at Ohio State and wait for C.J. Stroud to graduate? Now with this immediate eligibility, with the transfer portal, it makes it so much easier for the kids. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm just saying, this kid comes to Ohio State for a year, gets his $1 million, and then says, bye-bye, I'm going back to Texas. Now, there were reports that he was homesick and things like that, but if you are Ryan Day in Ohio State, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? It's one thing if he competes this summer, Ryan Day takes Stroud over him and then he transfers. That's one thing. This kid, there's no competition. Obviously, you're not going to start as a true freshman when you should have been a high school senior, but you're reclassified because you wanted to get the name, image, likeness deal. Not saying it's wrong. Go get the money, but realistically, I don't know who's advising this kid. I would say you want normal progression. You're the number one overall recruit. You're going to be at, as long as you progress how you should, you're going to get tons of money in the NFL as a franchise quarterback. Getting $1 million now, it looks great, but we don't want to tinker with your development. Stay in high school for your senior year and then go to Ohio State, and then you have C.J. Stroud starting. He'll be starting next year, but then C.J. Stroud's off to the NFL. He's off to the NFL, and then Quinn Ewers would have 2 years as Ohio State's starting quarterback, just sitting the 1 year. But because he comes, into the 2021 class, he reclassifies. It speeds up his clock. He's seeing the writing on the wall. He would have to compete with C.J. Stroud to be the starter next year, and it would be tough for him to win that. You could still win it if you're better. I trust Ryan Day would go with the best available, would go with the best option, but I'm guessing what happened is Quinn Ewers and his camp said, I need to be guaranteed I'm going to start next year or I'm just going to transfer. Now, there was a report that there was a stipulation in his name, image, likeness that he had to start a number of games or something for him to get the money. Apparently, that is not true. He got some sort of $1 million deal. I don't know what it was. I don't know how these name, image, likeness things work. some sort of sponsorship or something to talk about a product, I guess. But either way, Quinn Ewers, the generation. I said this. See, Ohio State fans are way too much homers. When I said this was terrible for Ohio State's quarterback room, I was met with people saying, no, he's just coming a year early to learn under Ryan Day. No, it speeds up his NFL clock, and he's going to want to start this year because now Quinn Ewers, if he starts next year and the year after, then he's off to the NFL. It was never, ever good for Ohio State's quarterback room. Ryan Day had the quarterback room perfected with Stroud for 2 years and then Ewers for 2 years, but Ewers moving into the 2021 class from the 2022 class changes it and screwed it up completely, and Ryan Day and Ohio State get completely screwed to no fault of their own. I cannot, again, the only way I would be able to fault Ryan Day here is if he, Stroud and Ewers competed this offseason and he goes with the veteran experienced Stroud over Ewers, even though Ewers may end up being better. That's the only way. Ewers didn't even compete. Like, obviously, you're not going to guarantee Ewers the starting job for next year. If Ewers is as good as people say he is, he should be able to beat CJ Stroud and get the starting job next year at Ohio State. But I can understand where Ewers is coming from. Really, again, the kid just straight up played Ohio State with this new name, image, likeness. We see all these kids going into the transfer portal. But again, we'll have to see how well he does. It'll be really interesting to watch Quinn Ewers' career. I'm not wishing him any negative things. He can go transfer wherever he wants. But, this is just the situation that happened. He played Ohio State. He came to Ohio State a year early when I'm sure Ryan Day and Ohio State did not want him to reclassify and come a year early and maybe mess with his development. I don't know how much it actually does mess with your development coming a year early out of high school for college football. I know a lot of college basketball players are reclassifying and coming a year early, and it's not hurting them. But just overall, Ryan Day has the quarterback room set up a certain way, and then you move 1 year and it completely screws everything up to where the best case scenario, again, or is the best case scenario Ewers beating out CJ Stroud this year? Was that the best case scenario? Like, either way, you wanted to have Stroud for 2 years and then Ewers for 2 years, and that's how it was set up if Ewers had stayed in the 2022 class. He doesn't. Guys, this whole thing's very confusing. Quinn Ewers gets $1 million from Ohio State, sits for a full year, plays 2 snaps. Here are some tweets I thought were funny. Quinn Ewers in his 1 year at Ohio State, college snaps 2, name, image, likeness contracts $3 million. Did he make? I know he had a $1 million deal. Did he seriously make $3 million? Kid legit reclassified, came to Ohio State, probably cleared $1 million in name, image, likeness money. Never played a down. Well, he did play 2 downs. He handed the ball off twice. And is now headed back to his home state to play college football. Ewers' last 6 months should be taught in a Harvard business class from now until the end of time. Yeah, I don't know about that second part. I mean, does it stunt your development leaving a year early? Maybe it doesn't, but like, if I'm a high school senior, like, I want to kind of enjoy my life. And then people saying, well, you want to, you wouldn't turn down $1 million. Couldn't he just get $1 million, wait a year, and then you're going to get $1 million in the name, image, likeness deals? I mean, you're the #1 overall recruit on every site. You're rated a perfect 1,000. You got to be pretty confident you're going to end up being a franchise quarterback and very likely the #1 overall pick. I'm not saying $1 million is nothing. If you want to take it, that's fine. But it's like, I would think about my development a little bit more and be like, look, I'm going to get the money anyways. Let me enjoy my high school. I'll talk to Ryan Day. I'm sure Ryan Day could not have been happy with Quinn Ewers reclassifying. I'm sure he said, he tried to get Ewers to probably stay into the 2022 class, and Ewers said, look, I want to come in 2021. And the Ewers camp probably said, he's either coming in 2021 or he's decommitting. And if you're Ryan Day, it's like he's a generational talent. All right, we'll try it. We'll bring him in. I agree with Ryan Day. Guys, I'm not this Ryan Day homer. He's getting exposed right now by the Big Ten. His offense, it's soft. We saw him against Michigan. But I'm just saying, you cannot blame Ryan Day in this situation. You really can't. I would have done the exact same thing Ryan Day did. I'd say, we'll bring you in. All right, you're a generational talent. I don't want to lose you. But it's just like, we really would like you to stay in the 2022 class to help your development. Either way, there's a lot of stuff going on. I think I'm going to make a transfer portal video. And then, let me actually quickly talk about this. The other thing I wanted to mention, Quinn Ewers indirectly caused Ohio State to miss out on an absolute superstar quarterback talent from the state of Ohio, Medina, Ohio. This kid, here's his profile. If you guys don't know, Medina, Ohio is in Northeast Ohio. It is a complete Ohio State infested area. This is not near Cincinnati. It's not near a state border. This is a total Ohio State area. And you look at this kid, his overall composite score might be only 72. I think that's going to increase, by the way. But his 247 solo Score, which is the most accurate recruiting service, has him as the nation's #3 overall player, #1 quarterback in the nation, 5-star 99 rating, which is just 1 point below Ewers rating, and then the #1 player in Ohio. So this kid's a beast. He's basically a Josh Allen clone, and by the way, he's going to Penn State, which causes Ohio State a lot of problems. If I'm Penn State, I'm looking at a 1-year transfer portal quarterback, and then you bring in the redshirt freshman and start him. This kid looks like an absolute beast. Really good job by Penn State to get him. But this kid, I'm sure, listen, if Quinn Ewers was out of sight, out of mind, that they weren't even recruiting him, this kid would be 100% a Buckeye, 100%. Medina, Ohio is completely, it's Northeast Ohio, but it's completely infested. It's total Ohio State, total Ohio State. It's not like it's near Cincinnati. It's not near a state border with Indiana or Pennsylvania. Not even close. It is completely Ohio State. This kid would be a Buckeye if Quinn Ewers was not in the picture for Ohio State, but because Quinn Ewers, I understand this kid's 2022, Quinn Ewers was 2021, but Quinn Ewers originally was 2022 and stayed in that class, and it kind of screwed everything up, and they weren't recruiting this kid for 2022 because they thought they already had a quarterback for 2022. Really weird situation, and Ohio State gets screwed here. I'm sure a lot of people are happy about that. Hasn't been a good few weeks for Ohio State, but this is why you pay coaches $100 million. These kids, the power is in their hands now. They're getting $1 million contracts. They're transferring to other schools and playing immediately. You know, you're a 5-star receiver. You're sitting on the bench. I'm going to transfer and play, you know, right away. So that's why all these coaches are getting major deals. You have to create relationships with players now. It's not like you can leverage, oh, if you want to go transfer, you have to sit a year. You know, that's why the transfer portal is interesting. That's why this sort of immediate eligibility is interesting. Obviously, we need immediate eligibility with what these coaches are doing, with Lincoln Riley and Brian Kelly just screwing their players, screwing the universities, whatever. I mean, that's what happens. You get a better deal, you take it. That's why we need immediate eligibility, but it's like, be careful what you wish for because there are negative side effects to it. Guys, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you are following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.